Good afternoon. I am Coach Chris Piccolo, the assistant varsity baseball coach here with Coach Ron Genziano. I'd like to begin by thanking the following people for their help in making today happen. Superintendent Eva Demian, Assistant Superintendent Jim Cummings, Assistant Superintendent Marguerite Jimenez, and Mary Reynolds from DO. I'd also like to thank High School Principal Charlie Cobb and our Athletic Director Dominic Fontana. We also like to recognize the people that helped make this happen as well, and that is the Board of Education: John Guskos, Donna Elliott, Al Senamore, Donna Grunsyke, Bob Marino, Keith Rooney, and Christine Rosales. Lastly, this special day would not have been possible without these amazing people in my corner: Eric and Fran Thies, Dominic Benvenuto, and the Booster Club. And also, I'd really like to give a special thank you to the man that makes this field look like Yankee Stadium, and that is Phil Cortez, AKA Philly Fondue. He's behind the top. Right now, we have a couple of people like to speak on Carmine Genziano's behalf, and I'd like to turn the microphone over to Dominic Benvenuto.
Well, thank you, my dear Parkers. I first want to say my name is Dominic Benvenuto. I graduated in 1973, played baseball here, and I would also like to thank Eva and the Deer Park Board of Education, Eric Thies, and Christopher LaPiccolo for making this day happen. It's been long overdue, and I'd like to thank them personally. You know, Carmine came to this country from Italy as a young man, went through the Deer Park school system. Carmine was a three-sport athlete: football, basketball, and baseball. He married his high school sweetheart, Barbara. They've been married for 50 years. They had 3 children: Michael, Lisa, and Ryan. I want to bring up Michael because in 1970, the Board of Education used to grant us, you know, during spring recess to play baseball in Florida. Well, there wasn't enough room on the bus for Carmine, so we took his 396 Chevelle Super Sport, and he followed us. And of course, the Chevy had some transmission problems, but he made it, and I was happy that he did. I would also like to tell you a very memorable moment. Back in 1997, my son was 12 years old. We went to the Long Island Championship at the PAL complex, and we were playing the legendary Doug Robbins from Division. The pitcher that we faced that day was undefeated throughout his high school career, and I'll never forget this. Carmine's and Ryan, I don't want to give away your squeeze play, but when he tapped his heel, you knew there was going to be something that was taking place. And I told my son, I said, Brian, Coach just put on a suicide squeeze. It was the bottom of the 7th, no score, man on third, there was 1 out, and it was a 2-on-1 count. Well, the rest is history. Carmine beat an undefeated pitcher. He beat Doug Robbins, and they went up to the States. Even though they got runner-up, it was a great year. So I want to say Carmine was also a hard-working man who sometimes worked 2-3 jobs. I remember Carmine at Calson's Lumber, always with a smile. His dedication to the children, to his players. He asked for excellence, and he really loved the Deer Park community. And today, with this tribute, I wish he was here. Just want to tell you I love Carmine Genziano. Thank you.
Thank you, Dominic. I'd like to call up Board of Education Representative Al Senimore. Thank you.
You know, when you get to be my age, you got to write some things down because, you know, you just don't know what's going on here. And you got to put on a pair of glasses to see what the heck you wrote down here. But, you know, this has been a long time coming, a really long time. I wish this could have happened about 10 or 15 years ago. Well, my friend could have been here and could have enjoyed it. Now it's his family, especially his wife Barbara, his children and friends who get to smile every time they step on this magnificent field that's being named in his honor today. You know, many years ago, someone once told me, it's not about the game you play, but it's more importantly, how you play the game. This man, this coach, this one-time athlete played and coached with dedication, intensity, and heart like I've never seen before. He knew no other way. While some of us were getting all-league, all-county, or MVP awards, there was not one of us that would not have given up those awards to be Carmine Agenziano. He was the ultimate athlete, the ultimate warrior, and finally the ultimate coach, who could teach the game of baseball like no one else. He wasn't easy to play for. If you made the commitment to play baseball, it would also involve your family. You would be expected to practice on school holidays, and don't even think about taking a family vacation with your family when the season was on. And I have to say, unfortunately, things have changed quite a bit since that time. Because of who he was and what he stood for, many of our kids went on to colleges with partial or full scholarships. Some even made it to the major leagues. He prepared his kids for everything that would happen on the baseball field. But more importantly, he prepared them for life's everyday's ups and downs. And so to my friend, your home address may change in time, but your home at this field will stay in place forever, bearing your name on it. This is truly a deserving dedication. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you, Al. Appreciate that. All right, last but not least, it's me. Carmine Agenziano was an all-around athlete. Like we heard before, he played basketball, football, and baseball while attending Deer Park High School, and he graduated in 1964. He then went on to attend Central Missouri State College, where he also played football. Carmine taught phys ed in Deer Park from 1971 to 2005. He coached many high school sports, including football and basketball. But his love for the game of baseball was his greatest passion and ultimately became his gift to all of us. It was on a diamond where from 1976 to 2005, he coached for 30 consecutive seasons. During his tenure, Coach Agenziano had a record of 474 wins, 220 losses, which is a 68.3 winning percentage. They won 10 league championships, 3 Suffolk County championships, 3 Long Island championships, and appeared in the New York State Finals twice. With the exception of 1996, Coach led his teams to the playoffs every year from 1980 to 2005. Coach Agenziano is also a 10-time winner of the Coach of the Year award. In both 1992 and 1997, he was awarded the Walt Williams Award, which is awarded to the team with the best league winning percentage in Suffolk County. While he was here, 2 of his players were awarded the Carl Yastrzemski Award, which is given to the most valuable player in Suffolk County. In 1980, it was Kevin Bow, and in 2001, it was Timmy Layden. In 2006, immediately following his retirement, Coach Agenziano was awarded the President's Award by the Suffolk County Baseball Coaches Association. This prestigious award is presented to a former mentor that has made a huge impact in Suffolk County baseball. Coach Agenziano's impact and influence on the performance and lives of his players cannot be overstated. Coach had the ability to inspire and make a difference, never failing to provide motivation and advice. He taught a lot more than just skills and tactics. He taught his players the importance of determination, discipline, and character, both in and out of the uniform. It is an honor to be among all of you this afternoon and to be a part of celebrating Coach Carmine Agenziano's legacy and contributions to Deer Park baseball. It is now my distinct pleasure to welcome you to the Carmine Agenziano baseball field. Phil.
Thank you so much, Chris, Mr. Thies. On behalf of myself and the entire Argenziano family, we'd like to thank Ms. Evie Demian, Mr. Jim Cummings, Ms. Mary Reynolds, Ms. Margarita Jimenez, the Board of Education, especially his longtime friend and classmate, Mr. Al Senamore. A very special thank you to Mr. Eric Thies and my best friend and assistant coach, Mr. Chris Piccolo. Without their efforts, all their hard work today would not be possible. Also, thank you to Mr. Dominic Benvenuto for all that you have done throughout the years for the Deer Park baseball program, especially with today. Thank you, all of you, for being in attendance today. My father would be in awe of all of you that are here today, and for this tremendous honor for a man who put his heart and soul into this baseball program for 30 years. I've been getting many texts throughout the last week or so from former players, and here's one I'd like to share with you today from Timmy Layden. In all my years in the game, he was the toughest, but the only one where there was never any questions that the player's best interest was the priority. I learned many life lessons from him, and I still carry them with me today. I have also tried to pass them on to my players and my daughter. Your father has had an impact on more lives in Deer Park than many of us could ever imagine. As his son, I know that this would make him feel very proud. Teaching life lessons through the game he truly loved, baseball. He would give this great honor to all of his former players, his assistant coaches, who Mr. Gennaro is here today, one of his longtime assistant coaches, and to the Deer Park community for all his accomplishments. He was never one to take any credit for anything. He always said, without the community and without these players, we wouldn't be anything. This is one thing that I know he'd be very proud of, so congratulations, Dad, and thank you everyone for coming today.